What's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newport from ChasingStrength.com. And in today's video, we are answering the question, which weighs more, muscle or fat? I'm going to show you a pretty interesting picture, or several. But before we answer that question and get into those pictures, here's a little context, right? As you may or may not know, especially if you're on my email list, I've recently given up discussing this concept of weight loss. Now, why is that? Well, in my opinion, based on 30 plus years of being in this industry, it is a nonsense or junk term that really causes nothing but confusion, heartache, and wastes a lot of time, money, and energy. Whoa, that seems a little like overkill there, buddy, you might be thinking, right? And of course, you are entitled to your opinion, but let's actually stop and look at the facts together, okay? Now, obesity, in case you weren't aware of this, is now a health epidemic here in America, both in adults and in children. And in fact, recent NIH, National Institute of Health statistics, show that 73.6% of all Americans fall into either the overweight or obese category. So essentially, 3/4 of Americans struggle with their body weight, okay? And other statistics, which I can't quote off the top of my head, show that it's about 50%, right, for the rest of the world. Now, if you combine these stats with the fact that Big Pharma, right, pharmaceutical companies are making billions of dollars a year on weight loss drugs that have side effects like, we should probably put side effects, right, in quotes here, like nausea, puking your guts out, and completely shutting down your digestive system, just to name a few of them. And the fact that big weight loss, as we like to call it, right, hit an all-time high of $90 billion gross revenue in 2023, and yet people are getting fatter by the second. I think it's safe to say that what we're currently doing is not working. For a point of reference, here is the first picture I want to show you. Okay, I'll pop this up here on the screen. I don't know how accurate this is, but it sure looks accurate to me based on what I've been seeing and how I grew up. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and we pretty much looked like the top picture. And the last time I went to Florida, which was just recently, I actually did see a lot of the bottom picture. Okay. Now, look, I'm not judging or shaming anyone here. I'm simply pointing out the problem, which is this: weight loss does not work. Still don't believe me? Right? Let's answer our original question. Which weighs more, muscle or fat? Now, most people will say fat, but let's look closely at this next picture, okay? You will see that they both weigh the same, 5 pounds, right? On the left-hand side, you got 5 pounds of fat, and on the right-hand side, you got 5 pounds of muscle. Where people get confused is that 5 pounds of muscle takes up about 2/3 less volume than 5 pounds of fat. And this reflects the pathetic state of the weight loss industry, okay? When someone wants to lose 20 pounds, all he or she is looking at is the number on the scale. But 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, 30% body fat looks a heck of a lot different than 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, and 15% body fat. The first takes up way more space than the second. So if you set out to lose 20 pounds, which is a common goal for most people, and only lost 10, but you lost 15 pounds of fat and gained 5 pounds of muscle, would you be a failure? No. And why not? Because body composition, right, not weight loss, is the thing that we should be discussing and measuring. Again, not weight or weight loss. Now, unfortunately, I've been banging this drum since 1996, and it used to freak people out. They couldn't understand why the scale didn't change as much as they expected, but their measurements did, right? Smaller waists, bigger arms, that sort of thing. Except for my female clients, smaller waists, hips, thighs, and arms, okay? So what do you do instead? Well, you focus on building muscle and burning off body fat by improving your conditioning, okay? Not by focusing on losing weight. If you do the first, which is build muscle, you will almost always lose weight if you don't use working out and building muscle as a license to eat like a condemned man at his last meal. I call this recomping, okay? We'll put that in some air quotes here, recomping, or recomposition training, which is training to change your body composition, to lose body fat and to gain muscle. Now, how do you do that exactly? Let's count the ways. I feel like some Shakespeare should be injected there anyway. Okay, well, number one, you are going to train a minimum of 3 days a week, right? 3 days a week is great for most guys. If you have good recovery or know how to structure your program accordingly, you can train 4 days a week. And some guys can even get away with training 5 days a week. Train a minimum of 20 minutes per session, up to 45 minutes. Number two, use the big lifts that use big muscles and require your body to burn a lot of energy. For kettlebells, use swings, cleans, presses, And actually, even Turkish get-ups come to mind because you're actually using your entire body. Snatches, of course, are also awesome. Number 3, train for both strength and power. Train those first, then train your conditioning. When you do that, you'll build go muscle, okay, instead of show muscle. Both look good, and the first you can use. Number 4, if you're going to diet, I'll put diet in air quotes, diet, then do these 2 things. A, prioritize your protein. It makes you feel full, and it kills cravings for both fatty and sugary foods. And B, clean the junk food. For the love of Pete, clean the junk food out of your pantry and fridge so you're not tempted to eat it, right? Doing both A and B will radically speed up your results so you burn fat faster and see muscle definition much sooner. And number 5, this is one that most guys skip, right, is sleep more. Sleep is where you recover most, not by taking supplements, okay? Right? No sleep, no recovery, no results. It's really that simple. Now, if you need some resources, I'll leave links to a 3-day-a-week Recomp program and a 4-day-a-week Recomp program in the description below. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, click the like button, smash the subscribe button, share this with a friend you know who wants to lose weight, okay? And leave me a comment in the comment section below. What have your experiences been with recomping versus losing weighting, right? You know what I'm saying, losing weight, all right? Until next time, my friend, stay strong.